A man was pierced straight through with a spear, just like a whole roasted lamb. Although the blow missed his heart and lungs, he endured a prolonged and agonizing death before finally succumbing. The villagers, thrilled at the thought of feasting on fresh skewers, prepared for their grisly meal. This disturbing town in Texas hides a dark secret. Every single resident is a murderer, and they all share a sinister appetite for human flesh. Any tourists who wander in are subjected to brutal torture and eventually slaughtered. Women are tied up and torn apart by horses, then cooked into horrifying delicacies enjoyed by the entire town. No outsiders make it out alive, everyone vanishes without a trace. Still, college students continue to recklessly visit, seeking what they think will be a taste of rural culture and simplicity. On one such day, 3 students drove into the town, which appeared oddly deserted and unnervingly silent. Suddenly, villagers emerged from hidden corners, cheerfully singing and surrounding the newcomers. The mayor welcomed them warmly, inviting them to the annual festival. One of the students, Mick, was suspicious at first, but his doubts faded after seeing the beautiful local women greet them with charm and warmth. Enthralled by the festive atmosphere, the group decided to stay for a vacation. Not long after, another car arrived. The mayor greeted the new arrivals just as warmly. Tempted by the promise of a grand feast, they too accepted the invitation. A motorcycle carrying a couple followed shortly, both enchanted by the seemingly joyful town, completely unaware of the horror waiting for them. Upon reaching the hotel, the couple was offered watermelon and flirted with by alluring villagers. One of them, Casey, found herself drawn to a friendly local who invited her to the stable. Seeking excitement, she agreed to be blindfolded. When the blindfold came off, she realized she was tightly bound. She laughed at first, thinking it was a prank, until the villager picked up a whip. Casey was soon torn limb from limb. That night, the villagers gathered to feast on the roasted human flesh. The following day, 2 beautiful women, led by the mayor's wife, put on a seductive performance. One of the students, Peter, was especially drawn in. The women led the others away, leaving him behind. A voice outside the window called his name. It was another attractive villager. She invited him for a drink. A straw was placed into his mouth. As he drank, his face twisted in agony. The liquid was concentrated sulfuric acid. His organs corroded from the inside, and blood soaked through the sheets. Back at the celebration, the others remained unaware of their friends' gruesome fates. In a nearby wooden hut, a villager was busy dismembering a body, while another led a girl in a joyful dance. Suddenly, the music stopped. The atmosphere shifted as villagers surrounded the girl. Her companion fled into the woods, only to be hunted down, impaled with a spear, and prepared to be cooked. Inside a bar, the rest of the group noticed the others missing. Just as they planned to leave, the mayor and his men blocked the exit. They were warned that leaving would be disrespectful. Reluctantly, they agreed to stay. But the atmosphere had changed. The once friendly villagers now wore cold expressions. Men by the roadside stared with savage hunger. The group decided to split up and search for their companions. Jack, while searching, spotted what he thought was his girlfriend. He followed the figure into a coffin, only to discover a villager in disguise. Before he could react, someone struck him with a guitar. He awoke on a pile of cotton, surrounded by villagers. A mechanical device began lowering a giant wooden stake. As it pressed down, Jack's eyes burst from his skull. His remains were crushed into mush and later served with tomato sauce. Elsewhere, another student encountered a villager girl who appeared to be waiting. But when she smiled, steel teeth were revealed, and she bit him to death. Sarah found herself in a small wooden hut. On high alert, she armed herself with a knife. Opening a cabinet, she was horrified to find it filled with preserved human organs. Meanwhile, Nick discovered a wooden house where someone resembling his friend watched him from the window. As he approached, the figure vanished. Nick entered the house, unaware of the corpse lying behind him. Just then, 2 villagers arrived, distracting him before he noticed the body. They led him away, pretending to help but planning to escape on a motorcycle. Nick realized the key was with a villager. He tried to take it but was knocked out by a slingshot. Upon waking, he found himself tied up beside Sarah. Villagers surrounded them. The festival had officially begun. The mayor presented their feast, all cooked human flesh. Before they could eat, the villagers wanted to play a game. Nick was handed a knife and told to kill Sarah to save himself. Under immense pressure, he approached her, but suddenly threw the knife at one of the villagers. Chaos erupted. He untied Sarah, lit a fire to hold the villagers back, and prepared for a final stand. In the flickering firelight, the mayor stepped forward with a sword, challenging Nick to a duel. Armed with only a pot lid, Nick fought desperately. When the shield broke, he grabbed a torch. The fire forced the mayor to retreat. Nick charged, pinned him down, and drove a fork toward his eye. Terrified, the mayor surrendered, promising to let them go. This time, he kept his word. Nick and Sarah escaped on the motorcycle, riding until dawn. They stopped at the nearest police station and reported everything. Officers accompanied them back, but what they found was horrifying. The town was gone, replaced by an overgrown graveyard. The police revealed that the town had been abandoned for 150 years. Every year, similar